Welcome to the City Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, September 17th, 2024. Could we get a confirmation that the Kansas Open Meeting Act required notice has been properly provided?
Yes, I can confirm that the packet was posted and the required notice was provided.
And a roll call, please. Oh, God.
Oh, go ahead and mute there, Patrick. There we go. Actually, I'll ask for your roll call first. So, Commissioner Mikesell?
I read his lips.
He said
Okay. Commissioner Alt?
here.
Vice Chair Farber?
Here.
Commissioner Paget?
Here.
Commissioner Rogers?
Here.
Commissioner Sydow?
Here.
Commissioner Van Coburn?
Here.
And Chair Waters?
Here.
All right, that is a full vote, so we do have enough for a quorum to move on to the next agenda item.
Okay. Are there any corrections to the September 3rd, 2024 regular meeting minutes? If so, please state those. If not, I would entertain a motion to approve those.
I'd move we approve the minutes of the September 3rd meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the September 3rd meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. New business. We will move into application number CU 24-7.
All right. So today, the request is for approval of a conditional use permit to allow an outdoor patio.
Pause just for a moment.
Oh, yep.
So, Mr. Mike So wishes to recuse himself. He believes he might have a conflict of interest with this particular agenda item, so he has joined us via Zoom, and I think he is going to leave the meeting now. All right, thank you, Mr. Mike So.
Yeah. So, we're here today for a request for approval of a conditional use permit to allow an outdoor patio at a drinking establishment located within the C4 Business District. We're located at the southwest corner of Santa Fe in East Mulberry. This one-story brick building at the southwest corner was built in 1948 and was remodeled in 1968 for a Western Auto facility. The Western Auto outlet operated from this address for 20 years. In 1991, Western Auto vacated the building and relocated to a Central Mall outlet. The building later became the home of Mr. Windshield and Safelite Auto, and the building has been vacant since Safelite Auto Glass closed its doors. So the existing building on this lot occupies all of Lot 172 and contains 6,000 square feet. The Santa Fe portion of this property consists of two 50 by 120-foot lots. The existing building occupies the south half of Lot 172 and contains 6,000 square feet. So this property has had multiple board actions over the last year. In January of 2023, 1858 Properties filed a certificate of compatibility with the Downtown Design Review Board to propose the removal of the white sheet metal and black metal awning from the building facade. So these photos that Dustin's pulling up, you can see that the sheet metal has been pulled off, and underneath it is brick that matches the lower facade that was uncovered. In February 2023, Catherine Kitchen filed a petition on behalf of 1858 Properties requesting that the north 100 feet of a 10-foot alley in the 300 block of South Santa Fe Avenue and South 7th Street be vacated. This alley was vacated on March 6, 2023, but it was subject to a reservation of a utility easement. In February 2024, Jeff Mays of Compro Realty filed an application on behalf of 1858 Properties requesting a rezoning of the property addresses 304 South Santa Fe and 303 South 7th Street from C3 Shopping Center District in R3 multifamily residential to C4. The nature of the request was to rezone both lots to C4, so it allowed the 7th Street property to be rezoned and have a surface parking lot constructed on it, and it allowed the former Western Auto Safelite Auto Glass building to be consistent with the zoning of the surrounding properties owned by the applicant. This board approved that on February 6, 2024, and then it was approved by the City Commission on March 11, 2024. Finally, at the March 11, 2024 meeting, the City Commission authorized the mayor to execute a license agreement with 1858 Properties to allow the construction and maintenance of off-street parking stalls in the Mulberry Street right-of-way at the southwest corner of South Santa Fe and Mulberry Street. And those proposed parking stalls are shown on the site plan on the screen. Finally, last week, this same property came to the Design Review Board for approval of a certificate of compatibility for the exterior remodel of the building in anticipation of Medes moving into this building. And you can see on the screen the proposed renderings. These renderings and the design of this building went to the DRB last week and was approved at that meeting. So we are here today because Medes Restaurant has entered into a lease agreement with 1858 Properties LLC for a 3,600 square foot tenant space in the east half of the existing building. The restaurant space will be accessed from a north-facing Mulberry Street entrance door. Medes is also proposing to add a covered outdoor patio dining area west of the main entrance into the restaurant. And as proposed, the covered patio would extend out 13 feet from the north wall of the building. The plans submitted by the Medes architect show a 624 square foot rectangular outdoor patio area with 38 seats on the north side of the restaurant adjacent to the indoor dining area. The outdoor patio would be bordered by solid walls backing up to the indoor dining area and on the east and west, and a low wall on the north. There would be some form of fire feature along the east wall abutting the main restaurant entrance. The applicant does not indicate whether outdoor speakers or any form of sound amplification are being proposed in the outdoor patio area. Food and or beverage service on an outdoor patio accessory to a restaurant is a conditional use in the C4 Central Business District, which must be reviewed and approved by the Planning Commission following notice to neighboring property owners and a public hearing. The primary reason that the addition of an outdoor patio was classified as a conditional use in the downtown area is that patios can add sometimes substantially to the occupant load of a drinking establishment, and outdoor patios tend to project more noise onto neighboring properties than indoor establishments. The conditional use process allows these potential spillover effects to be addressed. The role of the Planning Commission in this conditional use case is to determine whether the addition of an outdoor seating area as proposed would negatively impact the surrounding area. So first, we'll start with zoning ordinance requirements. The Planning Commission must find that the proposed conditional use will comply with all applicable zoning requirements. The applicant states that the proposed restaurant complies with all of the standards of the C4 district, with the exception of the proposed outdoor patio, which is a conditional use in the C4. Staff would agree that the proposed outdoor serving area is the only aspect of the project that requires separate zoning approval. Next, we'll move on to welfare or convenience of the public. The Planning Commission must find that the proposed conditional use, the addition of an outdoor patio, in this location will contribute to the welfare or convenience of the public. The applicant states that the proposed outdoor patio will contribute to the welfare or convenience of the public by continuing to enhance the downtown area of Salina and by capitalizing on the public and private investment into the core of the community. The applicant notes that the outdoor dining area has been well received. The outdoor dining has been well received in the downtown area and has added to the downtown experience. Adding a patio to Medes would expand on that. Staff would agree that outdoor patios can add to the ambiance of the downtown dining experience and can help attract residents and visitors to the downtown area. However, the welfare of the public is weighed not only by appeal of outdoor dining, but also by social impacts the outdoor patio might have on the area. One drawback associated with outdoor drinking areas is the increased difficulty of managing who enters and exits the patio. Outdoor drinking areas allow the opportunity for customers to pass alcohol over fences or things like that. To evaluate the social operational impacts, the Planning Commission will need to analyze the proposed layout and determine if it fits within the context of the surrounding area. As part of this analysis, staff would note that Meddy's is predominantly a restaurant and not a drinking establishment. Next, we'll move on to injury to surrounding property or domination of the neighborhood. The Commission must find that this proposed conditional use will not cause substantial injury to the value of other nearby property and that it will not dominate the immediate neighborhood. The applicant points out that the Sonic Drive-In, the neighboring property to the south, is a drive-in with outdoor ordering stations, and Yaya's and Starbucks have outdoor seating in front of Homewood Suites. The applicant states that the outdoor serving area being proposed for Meddy's is approximately 624 square feet and is part of a larger restaurant which contains approximately 3,600 square feet. Meddy's would occupy 60% of the existing building. Based on these numbers, the outdoor serving area is a relatively small part of the overall project that will not dominate the immediate neighborhood. Further, the outdoor service area will be surrounded on one side by the building and the other two sides by masonry walls. In addition, the entirety of the outdoor area is bordered by a low wall and railing and an evergreen hedge. It is also worth noting that the current use of the property immediately adjacent to this outdoor area is a parking lot, with Mulberry Street located to the north of the parking area. The applicant states that the outdoor dining option also contributes to an experience in the downtown area that is unique to Salina, which should serve to enhance rather than injure neighboring property values as it adds to the success of surrounding businesses. The zoning ordinance states that outdoor patio areas may not be larger in area or occupant load than the indoor dining area of an establishment. Outdoor patios are supposed to be supplemental to or accessory to the indoor service area. In the case of Meddy's, the proposed indoor dining area would contain 3,600 square feet, while the outdoor patio would contain only 624. So as proposed, the outdoor patio area is simply not large enough to have a stage for bands or other live entertainment and is otherwise accessory to the indoor dining. Because Meddy's is a sit-down restaurant, staff would agree that the proposed patio area will not dominate the immediate neighborhood, and the location and the design of the patio will blend in with the overall building renovation project. Next, public utilities and services. The Commission must find that approval of the conditional use permit will not create any extra burden on public utilities or generate any additional demand for public services. The applicant states that adequate utilities are in place to support the restaurant, and staff would agree that the proposed outdoor patio will not create any additional burden on public facilities. Traffic access and parking. The Commission must find that the adequate drives will be provided and designed so as to prevent traffic hazards, and that adequate off-street parking will be provided. The applicant notes that no off-street parking is required for restaurants in the C4, and then that parking is available on adjacent streets, and that parking lots have been constructed by Lighthouse Properties to support their hotel project across the street. There's also a private lot proposed north and west of the restaurant building. Staff has calculated that if the restaurant was located outside of the C4 district, it would have to provide at least 42 off-street parking spaces for customers and employees. The site plan by the applicant proposes 26 off-street parking spaces to be located north and west of the vacated alley. These spaces would supplement the on-street parking on Mulberry Street and the surface parking on the east side of South Santa Fe. The parking spaces north of the building encroach in the Mulberry right-of-way, but as stated earlier, these spaces were approved through a license agreement. So looking at the operating characteristics and location of this proposed outdoor patio, the total square footage is approximately 4,224 square feet with a seating capacity of 128. This is for the whole restaurant, with 90 seats indoors and 38 seats outdoors. There is a kitchen facility with full kitchen facilities and a menu. There is no dancing, no stage, no DJ area. The outdoor serving area is approximately 624 square feet. Hours of operation for other Medes establishments is 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. The distance to a nearest church, school, daycare center, or youth activities center would be St. John's Lutheran Church and Emmanuel Church, which are right across the street. The distance to the nearest residential development is the homes on the west side of South 7th, but we would note there are no second-floor lofts in the vicinity of Medes. Distance to existing drinking establishments, it is 200 feet to Yaya's, which is across the street, 400 feet to the former Masonic Temple, which is further south, and then Old Chicago is located a half block away to the north. So the future land use plan shows this area as being on the fringe of the downtown land use area where it transitions to hospital medical land use. The hospital medical land use area is intended to identify and define areas where Salina Regional should be encouraged to grow. However, this area is not limited to hospital medical related land uses, and the proposed restaurant with outdoor dining area is located within the boundaries of the Salina Downtown Business Improvement District and the Starbond and TIF districts. And the zoning is consistent with the rest of the surrounding properties. Moving on to staff suggested findings, the proposed outdoor dining area is accessory to and smaller in size and occupancy than the proposed indoor dining area. The proposed outdoor dining area will contribute to the welfare or convenience of the public by providing additional outdoor dining options in the downtown and will increase activity at the street level downtown. No stages or live musical performances and no outdoor amplified sound is proposed on the outdoor patio area, so it will not produce any negative spillover effects on the neighboring properties. And we would note again that closing time is 10 p.m. The proposed outdoor patio will not create any additional burden to public facilities or services or create the need for additional off-street parking. Off-street parking is not required for this type of use in the C4. Outdoor dining in the downtown area is a concept that is encouraged by our comprehensive plan. So, as a board, you have the following actions. One, the Planning Commission could approve this application to add an outdoor patio as requested without any special conditions if the above noted findings can be made. Two, the Commission could approve the application subject to any conditions or modifications to the plan that the Planning Commission deems appropriate if the above noted findings can be made. Three, the Commission could postpone consideration of this application if additional information is needed before taking action. Or four, the Commission could deny the conditional use permit if the required findings cannot be made or if the Commission finds that the proposed use is incompatible with the surrounding neighborhood. Staff would recommend that an application CU 24-7 and the associated site plan be approved as submitted. And staff is around for any questions, and the applicant is here. So,
Thank you, Gage. Well done. Commissioners, are there any questions for staff?
You said since it's if it wasn't in a C4 district, then it would require 46 parking spaces. Does that include the tenant space that's was behind the restaurant?
Dustin, do you want to touch on that?
how many was the total seating capacity?
So the seating capacity was 128.
Okay, so the 42 spaces was just for the restaurant then?
But since it's in a C4, then
Then it's
parking
not
spaces aren't
required.
required.
Right.
Just curious. So
But
Gate,
it's outside the
go ahead.
C4, so it's irrelevant.
it's not. I was just curious.
Huh?
I was just curious.
Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure.
On the low wall, how tall is that low wall roughly?
It appears to be close to 3.5 feet, but we can have the architect
Oh,
answer that question.
and then there's rail on top of that proposed?
There's a wall and there's plantings outside of the wall that are proposed.
Okay, very good, thank you. Any other questions of staff? All right, would the applicant like to speak a few words?
Hi, I'm Charles Renz with JGR Architects. Just to clarify a couple of those questions, the wall outside at the outdoor dining is 3 feet tall, just a little bit taller than the table, just to keep stuff from falling over. We do show kind of a wood screen wall across the face of that, and then the real screening comes from the evergreens
Okay.
back behind, so that it is open, and then that'll provide some acoustical treatment as well. There was also some mention about the music and that type of thing. There is just piped music, just like you would have inside the restaurant. It's pretty low level, just background music that is piped through on the other facilities. So,
Okay.
okay.
All right, any
Thanks.
questions of Charles?
That wall that's right there on that west side, is that a live?
It is not a live wall. Those are actually synthetic plants.
Okay.
Right
And it'll
there
go all
on
the
it.
way.
And it
Up.
goes all the way vertical. The landscaping out on the north side, those are live plants.
All right, any other questions for Charles? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, commissioners, I open it up for discussion or a motion if you're ready.
I'd make a motion to go ahead and approve CU 24-7. I think it fits in with everything that they're trying to do downtown, and the screening is appropriate for not allowing all the sound and stuff out that most people would be concerned about. So.
Okay. All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve application CU 24-7. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
We do not have any other items for you, whether they be legislative or administrative. And we do have a gentleman from the public here, if he'd like to speak. Nope, and he would not care to speak, and we have no one on Zoom. So
Okay.
with that, we could look at adjournment.
Okay. One quick question. Our next meeting will be in October?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Okay, second? Did I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, moved and second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.